The election broadcast by the Liberal Democrats.
Politicians are making a complete spectacle of themselves at the moment. People have lost faith in politicians, they don't trust them. This is just one attempt to try and cut through that and say, look, just come and talk to me.
How dare they say they're being tough on crime when they are reproducing crime?
I hope by talking to them I can restore a little bit of faith in the political process by making myself, as a party leader, more available to people. Simple as that.
I'm an ex-offender myself, been out of prison 6 years now. My question is, how does your party look to tackle the issue around young people and social exclusion? And what is your party's stance on rehabilitation of ex-offenders?
I'm so glad you asked. It's one of the things I feel more passionate about than almost anything else. I mean, I think we're going to look back in 50 years' time and think, what on earth were we doing? Throwing more and more and more people into prison just to have them come out and reoffend. Well, guess what the rate of reoffending is for young men on prison sentences of 12 weeks or less? And as you'll know, the vast majority of prison sentences are quite short ones. 92%. 92%. What are we doing? It makes me so angry. How dare they say they're being tough on crime when they are reproducing crime, creating victims of crime? I'll tell you what we should do. It's something that Liberal Democrats have actually done. A couple of years ago, I went to Chard, and the Liberal Democrat councillors there asked exactly the question you do, which is, how do we stop the youngster of today who's getting into trouble become the hardened criminal of tomorrow? And you know what they did? They did something so radical. They said to these youngsters, principally teenage boys, they said, OK, you've got a choice. You can either go to the police and you'll get snarled up in this criminal justice system, or you will come before what we call a community justice panel, and you will face your victim and your victim's family and members of the community, and you'll have to say sorry, and you'll have to explain why you did what you did, and then together you'll decide how you're going to make up for the harm that you created. Guess what the reoffending rate is of that scheme we've been running in Chard? So remember the 92% figure? 7%. What more evidence do you need that what we're doing is wrong, it's making Britain less safe, and it's consigning a lot of young people to the dustbin? Yeah, I promised.
How do you convince people of the benefits of the EU and sort of link to that? Would you try and make it better?
So it certainly can be made better. Of course it can.
Yeah.
It's like any political institution. It's not democratic enough, it's not accountable enough and all the rest of it. But in a world where you have international economic crises, environmental destruction, which by definition crosses borders, the mass migration of people, the internationalisation of crime, terrorism, we have to learn to act together. We are much stronger together than we are if we fall apart. And it's why, actually, come these elections in June, the European elections, many people will be bored to tears. Actually, there's a really important principle at stake. And it's a very simple question. Do you believe we are safer, more prosperous and greener by working together in Europe or not? I emphatically think we are. And I am staunchly opposed to people who think we can somehow pull up the drawbridge and kind of somehow do all this on our own. We can't. We're not the old imperial nation of the 19th century. We aren't. We've got to grow up and accept that. Thanks very much, Dean, for coming. Thanks.